There are places you just visit, and then there are places you feel, right? They kind of get under your skin, but it's really hard to put into words why. France is definitely one of those places. So today we're going to try and figure out what is it that makes it so captivating.
And funnily enough, the French have the perfect phrase for it, je ne sais quoi. Now, it literally translates to I don't know what, which sounds a bit strange, but what it really describes is this essential, indefinable quality. That certain something. That's the irresistible charm we're going to dive into today.
So let's start our journey right here, with just a feeling. Look at this. Just imagine for a second, you're standing right in the middle of it all. The air is just thick with that smell of lavender, the sun feels warm on your skin, and all you can hear is this gentle hum of bees. This is what I'm talking about, the sensory heart of France. And it's the perfect place to start our quest to understand its magic.
Okay, so let's move on from the feeling and get into the more tangible stuff. What are the actual ingredients that come together to create this famous French charm?
Well, the foundations are pretty legendary, aren't they? We're talking about castles that look like they're straight out of a fairy tale. You've got food that's celebrated all over the globe, art that literally defined entire movements, and landscapes that they leave you breathless. And what's so amazing is that any one of these things could define a whole country, but France has all of it.
But to really get to the heart of France, you have to look at its landscape. It's like the land itself wears its long and pretty thrilling history right on its sleeve.
And you can really feel the raw power of the French landscape. It's not all rolling hills and gentle countryside, not at all. You've got these incredibly dramatic, wave-whipped cliffs up in Normandy, a kind of geography that just feels ancient, wild and untamed. And the variety is it's absolutely staggering. Think about it. In one single country, you can go from the highest, loftiest peaks in the Alps, like Mont Blanc, all the way down to the sun-kissed beaches of the Mediterranean. Or you could go explore the deep gorges of the Massif Central, or even get lost in the wild, primeval forests of Brittany. It's this incredible diversity that's been inspiring artists and adventurers for centuries.
And what's crazy is you can actually see this timeline written right on the land itself. You've got prehistoric art hidden away deep in caves, and then, boom, the unbelievable opulence of a royal palace like the Château de Chambord. It almost feels like the entire story of Western civilization is just etched right into the French countryside.
But of course, France is so much more than just its history and its landscape. See, this incredible land has cultivated a really unique way of life, a culture that is all about celebrating quality and, pleasure.
And this is something you really experience with all your senses. Picture that quintessential French moment, the smell wafting out of a real boulangerie, the sight of those perfectly crafted pastries. It's so much more than just food, right? It's a daily ritual. It's an art form that you can actually taste. And that same appreciation for quality, it just spills over into the markets that spring to life in the village squares. It's this vibrant, bustling celebration of fresh, local produce. It's really a cornerstone of community life there.
And of course, we have to talk about the wine. In a place like Bordeaux, wine isn't just a drink. No way. It's culture, it's history, it's geography, all rolled into one glass. It's about talking to master winemakers and really understanding the soul of that particular vintage. So it all kind of comes together in this one amazing concept, l'art de vivre, the art of living. It's this philosophy that just weaves all these threads together. A perfect example? Think about the 2-hour lunch break. In France, that's not some crazy luxury. It's a fundamental, protected part of the day, dedicated to good food and good conversation. Now that is the art of living.
And this art of living just naturally extends into the world of fine art. France is a global capital of culture. It's home to masterpieces that you can get lost in for hours, whether it's in a tiny little gallery or the absolutely monumental, incomparable Louvre.
Okay, so when we think about French culture, it's pretty easy for our minds to go to just one place, right? Paris. But as absolutely iconic as Paris is, the true spirit of France, that's found far beyond the city limits.
And hey, for good reason. Paris, the city of light, it's completely irresistible. You've got the iconic landmarks, the cozy little cafes. It's the one place where that famous French charm feels the most concentrated. It's really the perfect introduction.
But here's the thing you have to remember. Paris is just the beginning. Think of it like one magnificent chapter in a huge book that's filled with dozens of other distinct regions, and every single one of them has its own character and its own story.
And the contrasts are just spectacular. I mean, you can go from the fairy tale, almost German-looking canals of Colmar in the east, all the way over to the sun-kissed glamour and bright blue waters of the Côte d'Azur in the south. They're two completely different worlds, but somehow they're both uniquely French.
Or hey, how about this for a contrast? Compare the manicured, elegant châteaus of the Loire Valley, the playground of the French aristocracy, with the wild, rugged coast and the ancient Celtic culture of Brittany. This sheer diversity, that's the real secret to why France's appeal never fades.
So after seeing all of this, you start to realize it's less about trying to define France, and it's way more about discovering it for yourself.
So really, the key takeaway here is this. France isn't just one single destination. It's more like a mosaic of countless different experiences. Every single region has its own robust history, its own food, its own landscape, and its own lively, unique culture that's just, well, it's just waiting for you to explore it.
It really gets you thinking, doesn't it? I mean, after seeing the rugged coasts, the towering alpine peaks, the charming little villages, and the vibrant cities, where would your story begin? What part of all this is calling out to you?
Maybe it begins somewhere just like this, in a quiet village with a glass of local wine and just that simple but really profound pleasure of just being there. Because when it comes down to it, that right there might be the truest definition of je ne sais quoi.